problem with Meghan Markle is she's just so utterly fake. And those are not my words, of course. Those are the words of people that have literally worked with her behind the scenes. And when you understand how television works, I get it, you know, there are personas on TV from people. I don't know if you've ever been on a game show with somebody, but they're never the character that you think you know from the TV, because they're an exaggerated sort of persona, aren't they? They have to be. They're entertaining. But of course, what happened recently behind the scenes with Meghan Markle and her inauthentic cooking show, as many people have claimed, well, literally, things were getting worse. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you today, chums. Thank you so much as ever for your time. And thank you, by the way, for your lovely comments regarding that recent video about Keir Starmer, the bus passes and all of that sort of stuff. I don't know if you saw the story, particularly if you're over here in the United Kingdom, about the reform of the NHS and the thousands and thousands of jobs that are now going to be axed from there. Well, that's all very well. But of course, all that money is going to be going either to the war effort or, more importantly, to all the small boat people that are invading on a daily basis. So don't get too excited about the waiting list going down. There's always another distraction story, particularly with any government anywhere around the world. You get the picture. It's a little bit like this particular story. You see, when you think about it, part and parcel of being an influencer, and this is the thing that I find really strange about how people don't understand exactly the sort of situation, particularly with Meghan, when she claimed that she came to the royal family with £5 million, right? Because she was that successful. And mainly this was all to do with the freebie site that was the TIG. The TIG was something that she was clearly very interested in doing, but a lot of people pointed out to me it was a means to an end, you know, free clothes, free makeup, hair salons, restaurants, that sort of stuff. Good on her. You know, she was using that spot in suits to get what she wanted, you know, and as that faded, then, you know, she had to do something else. But to say that this was a mega business, well, is really far stretched. There are no accounts for the TIG. So clearly it was something that she either did as a side hustle, maybe she got paid independently by people whose clothes she wore, where she went for a hairdo, but it was nothing as big as she's trying to make that out. And this is the problem, you know, the lies become very much exposed on a regular basis. Now, here's again where this gets particularly interesting, because the inauthenticity of basically how Meghan is. She recently appeared on the CBS show, the Drew Barrymore show, you know, the one where she basically sort of went on and couldn't really remember too much about herself, you know. Very nervous, our Meg, you know, at being interviewed, because she doesn't like you to ask any question that's not necessarily agreed. That wasn't a problem on the Drew Barrymore show, let me tell you. Every single question had been sent over in advance. So she knew exactly the sort of narrative of the story. There was nothing unique or indeed real or authentic about this. The only two pieces that she did not know about, which Drew threw in because she wanted to surprise her, was of course the now famous chat about her mother-in-law, the late beautiful Diana, Princess of Wales. And Drew, genuinely, I thought, was so excited to talk about that. You could see it is a marvellous moment to meet that woman when you're that age as well. And let's not forget, in the biggest movie at that point, E.T., you could sense that Meghan didn't like that. That wasn't, as I said, agreed. And the other question was, where Meghan was thrown, was literally where basically she'd said, you know, what do you notice about their Englishness? Oh, they've got very strong American accents, saying one thing to the rest of the world: these children are American. And then she went on about, they say zebra or zebra, like their father. She couldn't think of anything else. You know, there was no, because it hadn't been discussed or planned or rehearsed. Everything else was rehearsed. And the funniest thing, let me tell you, chums, was the fact that, you know, where you see Drew Barrymore taking a big sip from that extra large mug with the words Drew on it, Meghan didn't want to do that. So two reasons, apparently. She was worried that the cup might go missing and people might try and sell that, apparently, on social media. I kid you not. But also, she didn't want to spoil her makeup, you know, so she didn't want to use a glass or whatever, anything like that. Isn't it strange if you're trying to sell, you know, to be an authentic sort of person that is trying to connect with the ordinary people, to say, I cook, I bake, I craft, this is what I do. And then behind the scenes, I don't do this, I don't do that. You don't need to call me mom. You don't need to bow, you know. It's just ridiculous. That's truly what went on behind Drew. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.